Hello guys, good evening. Here is our second part of part 2 of our 9292. Okay, so I think we were stuck somewhere here. Yan, pero tuloy natin. Hanggang article antay. Start with article 4. Sobra. Again, good evening. Now let me continue. And let's have our second part of our Republic Act 9292. And we will start with, I think we stop in, wait lang. Okay. Ayan, gumana. Internet siguro to. Ayan. Article 4 na yata tayo, if I'm not mistaken. Pero ito yung last part, no, ng Article 3, Section 26. Let me put a focus on some provision that is siguro we are not aware, but so there will be no examination. Registration shall be required for a foreign. I think this is in connection with the G8TT, the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, on which you can have a license of an ASEAN or APEC engineers. So in this section 26, where there's no qualified equivalent Filipino professional is available for the specific item or to be rendered as attested by the accredited professional organization. For the conditions of the scope and funding for the work of project are such that it stipulates the temporary employment of a foreign professional. So this is also, I think it's equate also when you work abroad, as I defined in the this is the general agreement. Part of the tariff and trade is this on the trade and services. So the ASEAN and APEC Engineering Registry Program of other similar international treaties, agreement, covenants to which the Philippine government is a signatory and has ratified, that the said foreign professional is legally qualified to practice his profession here in his own country, in which the requirements for licensing and registration are not lower than those specified in this act. The work to be performed by said foreign professional shall be limited only to the particular work or project. Letter number 3, prior to commencing the work, the foreign professional shall secure a special permit from the board. Okay, so that's one of the other additional added duties of the three gentlemen in our PECA. So the same foreign professional shall not engage in private practice. So first, that is the scope and the limitations of a foreign professional. And as well, contracted to the work or project at least two corresponding Filipino professionals who are registered under this act shall be employed as counterparts. So parang meron siyang rider, kung tawagin natin. A private firm utilizing the services of such foreign professional at least the same duration as the foreigner tenure of work. Okay. So parang ano lang to, no? Parang consultant, no? Okay. So special permit herein granted shall be valid only for a period of 6 months and renewable every 6 months. thereafter subject to the discretion of the board and the approval of the commission. Okay, let's move on to our Article 4. Or is the practice of the PECE, ECE, ECT. Okay. Article 27. No person shall offer himself, herself in the Philippines, use the title of PECE, ECE, or ECT as defined in this act, or use any word, letter, figure, or sign whatsoever, tending to convey the impression that he or she is a professional electronics engineer. So, or ECT or ECE, or advertise that he or she is qualified to perform, to work as the main three disciplines. Okay, without holding a valid ID or registration card. So, prohibitions and limitations as well of the practice of the electronics engineering and electronics technician. Okay. Unless otherwise, Section 28, unless otherwise prescribed by a supervising law, the practice of ECE and ECT shall be professional service, admission to which must be determined on the basis of the individual professional qualification. Hence, no firm, company, partnership, association, or corporation may be registered licensed as the practice of electronics engineer and electronics technician. However, person properly registered and licensed by PECE, ECE, or ECT may among themselves or with any other allied professional form a partnership or association or cooperation and collectively rendered service, provided that the individual members of such partnership or association or corporation shall be responsible as we respect to this act. So, all right. So, section 28. So let me note that to form a partnership or association or corporation is collectively or and collectively render services must be under of this law as well. Kasi ano na to, involved na rin to sa mga businesses. So it should be connected to other supervening law when you enter to something like being an entrepreneur. So there will be no firm or company, partnership, association, or corporation may be registered or licensed as the practice of electronics. Okay. Kasi ngayon marami na naglalabas ng mga consultancy. And this is what also we are planning sa grupo namin nila Sir Glenn, no? When I will be retiring in 4 years time. Parang gusto ko rin magtayo ng consultation regarding this. But also, since na this is a very a macro environment, so we have to follow such rule. Siguro, there are seminars available under DTI, okay, under SEC, Sayang naman kasi yung ano, nakita ko rito, siyempre passion ko rin yung as a teacher, no? Paano mag-hikayat. So, iba ang seal din ng PECE, ECT o ano, PECE tsaka ECE. Magkaiba sila. Siguro pareho lang sila ng ano, pero may yung yung may entry to, no, your name and PEC. Pero usually no, yung bilog niya, if I'm not mistaken, that is a Morse code. The Morse code circuit, no? Representing the communication. Then meron siyang atom sa gitna for electronics. Then you have your name and your. So I've never been involved in signing mga ano, siguro suggestions, no? This is also paid, no? Mga consultation. No? Kasi nga, na-involved tayo sa teaching. Pero ngayon, nakapansin ko lang sa Mindoro, if you will be transferred to Mindoro, ISAP Mindoro, this is one of my, I will be involving to LGU on which they're the one who is, kasi nang kulang ngayon sa ECE, sa batas ng ECE, hindi alam to ng LGU. Ilan lang nakakaalam, kaya maraming illegal pa rin in installing substandard, no, CCTV, substandard telecommunication, no, or even the internet, no, laying out the cabling especially. Okay. So the code of ethics and the code of technical standard practice. Okay. So it will be adopted by the board will adopt the code of standards in technical and professional ethics for the practice of ECE, PECE, because ECT is also under the supervision of the ECE. Anyway, those things also were being protected and being nurtured by mid convention, major convention, and yearly annual meeting or assembly rather. So Article 5 is about the soundry. So I think we are closing to the last part of this 9292. So it was Trillanes who started these things, the CPE or CPD points. Okay, so for every so if you want to renew your license, you have to at least earn minimum requirements of CPD points. So meaning you have to attend the mid-con or the annual for equivalent points, CPD points, or any webinar. Okay. Maganda naman yung purpose ng batas. Alam, pag nagkaka-problema na rin sa financial, nagiging question na rin kasi nga it's one way to collect the revenue. Okay. Kasi okay rin to. Okay rin sa akin yung mga CPD points kasi not like before. Kasi dati-dati, to be honest, nabutan ko yung 5734. When we passed, dalawa kami, when we passed the board exam, umattend kami ng ISEP, the yearly meeting or assembly. Wala pang Wala pang convention nun, no? Nagsisimula lang, nag-meet lang kami sa isang room ng function room ng RTU, no? Siguro isa sa mga board of EC ng panahon na yon ay officer. At the same time, may connection sa ISEP, nasa ISEP. Tapos nasa loob ng room, konti lang kami, wala pang ang 30. Tapos talagang may weekly, not really weekly, merong yearly report ng financial. So that is an ISEP ng panahon na yon, convention. Tapos palaki ng palaki. Because of this, dumating sa punto, panahon ng Tiranianes, I think year 2000 na lang to. Kasabay lang 1992. Okay, mga year 2000 siguro, if I'm not mistaken. Talagang ni-record na, kaya ang bawat convention ay maabot ng 1,000 na rin. Kaya may hirap na rin mag-sponsor, or kaya maganda na rin ang ISEP ngayon, may mga clustering na, no? ISEP Mindanao, ISEP Cubao cluster, chapter, no? Yung nag-sponsor. Ako sa Manila ako. Bala ko rin palipat sa Mindoro, chapter Mindoro. Siguro pag nakuha ko na yung pag inaasikaso ko yung PECE. Kasi nung naging mga department head ako, o kaya nasa computer ako, talagang hindi ko inaasikaso yan kasi nga una iba yung concern ng computer society ng panahon na yun. Although matid ako ng ISEP. So ngayon lang ako na-involved sa mga ganito. Well, at least kahit paano, no? Wala akong regrets. At least, no, may mga budget naman dito. Hindi ko na ma-maximize yung budget. Kumbaga, late bloomer. And then, Section 32, the integrated and accredited professional organization on this ISEP. There shall be one integrated and accredited organization of professional ECE, ECE, registered ECE, and ECT. And that is in the form of ISEP. Okay. Every professional electronics, ECE, ECT, upon registration of the commission as such, shall ipso facto become a member. So the moment you pass the board, you are automatically member of the organization. Those who have been previously registered by the board but are not member of the accredited at the time of effectivity of this act shall be allowed. So, nga, no, madaling na na-convert. Pero pag ikaw ay nasa below 7 years ka nung 2004, let's say 2001, no, wala pang 92, pero meron binanggit dito. Yun naman sa PC, pero may binanggit dito, this act shall be allowed to register a member of their within 3 years after the effectivity. So 3 years as a member lang ng ISEP. Yung kaninang 7 years as PEC. Not be a bar to membership in other association. And one of the issue nga din dito yung computer, yung mga computer science graduate na gusto magkaroon ng board exam, pero hindi pumapayag ang BECE kasi under pa rin sila ng 92. Pero nga, as I told you during the part 1, nung last midcon, nagsisimula na ang ISEP, the prime mover, to at least to propose this kind of different discipline or specialization. So you will be an ECE license with different specialization. And one is project management, which is nung tumanda na kasi ako sa pagtuturo, it's more on management na rin. So marami siya, no? Pwede microwave, no? Pero hindi mo pala yung nakikita ko, no? The discipline, hindi mo pala. O na specialization. Pero there are all, the ISEP is requesting all the PECE to actively involved in this kind of move by the ISEP. Mabigat din to, no? Failure to maintain membership in good standing. Siyempre, pag di ka umatin, you are not in good standing. Kasi bibigyan ka ng certificate kung magre-renew ka ng ID. Okay. Hinahanapan ka ng certificate. Kaya, rin yung batas ni Trillanes. Mas gusto ko yung kaysa sa excise tax. Anyway, about the foreign reciprocity. Foreign reciprocity. No, in Section 33, no foreigners shall be admitted or registered without examination under this act. Pero kanina nan banggit natin it's only 6 months, no? For a foreign for a foreigner who want to practice. Okay. Mag-apply ka pa. Bibigyan ka ng permit ng PEC. So there will be an agreement or covenant to which their country, state, or province or signatory admits Filipino citizen to practice as professional ECE or ECE or ECT. Okay. Registration purpose or terms of strict and obsolete equality with the citizen, subject or national or said country, including the unconditional recognition of their licenses by the board and the commission of prerequisites degree. So it should be a treaty, no? Or papasok ang Pilipinas, pumasok na tayo, pero siyempre iba pa rin yung mga legalities na hinahanap. Pwede ka mag-practice. Okay. And Section 34, ano ngayon ang position ng government requiring the services of these three professionals. So within 3 years from the effectivity of this act, existing and proposed position, local and national government, whether career, permanent, temporary, or contractual, and primarily requiring the services of PECE, ECE, ECT, be filled only by registered. So, kailangan lisensyado. Hinahanapan na yan ng mga, kaya nga kung meron kang alarm system or business alarm system, so definitely maraming hinahanap ang mga certificate or registration. This is one of the Section 35, the penal provision. When you violated the law, so ito yung mga corresponding penalty. So the penal provision, we violated the law of 1992. So it started with 100,000 to 1 million, an imprisonment of 6 years, not more than 6 months, not more than 6 years. Okay. So ano yun? Number 1, letter A. Any person who shall give any false or fraudulent statement to the board. Kaya mahirap din. If you want to be part of the heaven, yung mga board, yung mga ISEP governors. So you have to practice this. Ewan ko anong nangyari. Nakalimandahan nung panahon na ayaw nila yung presidente na yun. Minsan nga meron isang kaming inatinan na ISEP convention. Tapos yung kalahati, umaattend ng IEEE. Kasi nga ayaw nila doon sa presidente o doon sa ano. No? Tapos meron pa kudita pa, mga ganun. Pero tingin ko na ayos na. So, any person, letter B, who shall present or use her certificate of, uh, of, of this profession any person who shall present or use his own certificate of registration, professional ID card, membership of the accredited organization, seal issue, and any person who allows the use of this certificate of registration, these things. So, ibig sabihin, no, yung mga false, kaya pag hindi ka licensed at, no, at meron ka mga peke. Kasi sa Abinida, yan yung dating Center of Falsification of Documents. Maraming nakalusot ng isang ibang bansa. Naging successful pero ang kanilang TOR is mga peke. Oh, so binabalaan lang tayo nito. Letter C, any person who shall present or use, no, yung mga revoked o suspended. So, ibig sabihin, pag ang ID mo ay expired na after 3 years, you are not allowed to use that anymore. So, kaya nga, dapat maging maingat tayo. Kung kayo papasa, so be sure, on the 3rd year of your birthday, after the issuance of your license, you have to renew it once at once. Okay. Letter D, any person who shall assume, advertise, yan, ganyan. Pero hindi naman siya lisensyado. Letter E, any professional ECE or PCE who shall stamp or seal, gumagamit ng iba na hindi sa kanya. Bawal din mo. Kung gagamit ka ng seal, pati signature. And these are basic things na talaga makukulong ka rito. Kaya mahirap pumasok sa mga double standard. What I mean is yung mga under the table. Kasi pwedeng maging ano to. One day millionaire and then ang kapalit naman ang habang buhay mo security. So, okay, dito rin kinuha yung sa e-commerce, no? Cloning, hacking, piracy. Nagbabawal din yan. So any person who shall violate any provision of this act, the code of ethics and the code of standard practice is being imposed. 6. So there is a assistance. So you have the police, you have the NBI to assist to enforce this law. And Article 7, transitory provision. Upon the effectivity of this act, the incumbent board of ECE shall complete all pending unfinished work within 6-month period, after which it shall create to exist, and the President of the Philippines shall before then appoint a chairman and members of the first board. Okay. Under Section 8, 6 and 8. Then Section 38, electronics and communication engineer when this law is passed. uh, an ID card at the time of effectivity should be automatically registered and recognized as electronic engineer. Okay. Title 8, provision, final provision. Implementing rules and regulations. So subject to the approval of the commission, the board is coordination with the accredited professional organization. Shall adopt and promulgate such rule, regulation, resolution. So the Code of Ethics and the Code of Technical Standard of Practice for professional electronics engineers, and electronics technicians to carry out the provision of this act, which shall be published in the official gazette 15 days after the approval. Appropriation from the GAA, budget, and separability clause. If any provision of this act or any portion is declared unconstitutional by any competent court, the other provision thereof shall be affected hereby. And the repealing clause, it repealed the 5734, the old one, and then the 50 of this 1992 is 15 days upon the publication of the official gazette. Approved by these people during those times, and is it 8 Congress yata, no? If I'm not mistaken. February 2, 2004. Okay. Under Gloria Arroyo. So that's it. Our Republic Act 1992. Then we will have our unit test 2 by Monday. Okay. Okay. Good night and thank you so much. See you Monday.